Hey guys, this is Rose. I'm back again. I looked at Dr. Black's scans for implants, and I can't possibly show the whole thing on YouTube. So I just do little screenshots of it. It's very highly involved. And yes, what I get from people when I talk to them about nanotechnology and how advanced it is, I get this look and attitude which annoys me. They act like, like they're stupid, like, what's nanotechnology? What's that shite? Like, I'm stupid. Or they act like I'm stupid. They act like they're stupid or I'm stupid. So, what we found, okay, we're kind of working backwards again. Let's see, let's go back. Did I pass it up? Yeah, I passed it up. Okay. Yeah, so what I found is Miss Black is exposed to nano CMOS systems at a copper base with other metal oxides that are known to cause hair loss that utilize a software interface with satellite and mobile transmissions form at minimum 1 to 2 overlapping or separate locations, as previously identified in this report as multi-channels and vector points. The technology utilized with silicone glass as developed by Dow and IBM may utilize the nano radio, which will generate a voice-to-skull transmission. The origin patents this technology. The origin patents for this technology are awarded to Eastman Kodak in 2007 and then licensed to other companies through trustees of their bankruptcy court proceedings. Okay, wow. So, yeah, and I told you, I think she has nanotechnology shite in her body, So, and then I did a video about what a nanotechnology network looks like in your body. So anyway, and notice like it has like a little cell phone or some kind of device that you connect to your body and then to the healthcare provider. Then it says, does it say mitochondria? I wonder if they mean like the mitochondria DNA. I have to look that up. So anyway, so that's what they're saying causes V2K, So, I looked up nano radio. What is nano radio? Yeah, I looked up what's nano radio. Nano radio usually refers to radio technology built at an extremely small nanometer scale, often using advances from nanotechnology. It's not a single product, but a concept, an area of research. A nano radio is a tiny radio receiver transmitter made from components that are thousands of times smaller than a human hair. These devices can detect and process radio signals using microscopic materials like carbon nanotubes. It involves carbon nanotubes, which I've heard of before. One famous example uses a carbon nanotube that vibrates when it picks up radio waves. That vibration acts like both an antenna, captures the signal, a tuner or demodulator extracts sound or data. This combines multiple radios in parts into a single nanoscale structure. Why is it interesting? Nanoradios could be used in medical devices inside the body, monitoring cells or delivering drugs. Ultra small sensors in environments or materials. Blah, 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 right? Okay. So, and then I showed you this video designing Bluetooth antennas that work inside the human body. So I think if you have implants in your body, they have like these little antennas that are like transmitters, and they can literally transmit medical data from your body to whoever is involved in targeting you or human trafficking you or whatever the word you want to use, you know. So I looked up like see, it says researchers are developing nanoscale devices that can detect biomarkers, monitor brain chemistry in real time. The nanoradio acts as a tiny transmitter, sending signals from inside the body to an external receiver. So I think that's what they're doing to Dr. Black. What organizations are involved with nanoradio technology? Okay. University of California, Berkeley, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Stanford University, Columbia University, University of Cambridge. Okay. And DARPA, National Science Foundation, National Institutes of Health, NASA, and Kabeli Institute for Nanoscale Science, Max Planck Society, CNRS. I don't know what CNRS is. I have to look that up. Yeah, the Max Planck Society, I've seen them a lot. When I did the Digital Forensics Computer Science site, they're on Germany's educational network, you know. I told you about all these educational networks. So, yeah, I found them a lot, like this place in Germany. It says they're involved in human, cognitive, and brain sciences. Yeah, so I saw them a lot. Yeah, I saw those people a lot. Max Planck and so, and I told you about like the nano satellites, how I think, according to her report, you know, her scans for implants, it says they use nano satellites, you know, so, that's another thing you could look up, you know. So we'll look up nanoradio on ChatGPT, because they can explain it the best, you know. What is... Well, we know what nanoradio is. Let's do... Let's do DARPA, okay? How is DARPA involved in nanoradio? Okay, I'm interested in DARPA. See, wow. DARPA funds high-risk, high-reward science nanoradios fit perfectly into that category. Wow. Supported work on carbon nanotube-based radios, where a single nanotube acts as an antenna, tuner, amplifier, demodulator. A landmark demonstration came from researchers at University of California, Berkeley, funded in part by DARPA-related programs. The radio receivers can be shrunk to nanoscale, which was previously theoretical. So, like the nano radio technology shite, it can be as small as a human hair, is what I read. It could be very tiny. And then the nano radios can be involved with smart dust, if you guys know what smart dust is. If not, look it up on ChatGPT. You know, that's a long story. Yeah, that's wild, you know. This shite is wild, right? Like, I have to look this up. It's used in medical use through programs like Biological Technologies Office, BTO, in body sensors that transmit data wirelessly. And I think they can collect your biomedical data if you have these implants in your body. They can collect your biomedical data in real time, you know, which means live. Anyway, I'm just looking at some of their how about how about how are nano radios involved in biomedical research, you know? That's wild. So, yeah, we think this nano radio technology shite is involved with V2K, you know? So they can make you hear voices with the nanotechnology in your body, you know? That's how advanced their technology is, you know? I'm just trying to tell you how advanced it is. Because people don't think that their technology is that advanced. So I asked how are nano radios involved in biomedical research. See, detect biomarkers, recording brain activity at very fine resolution. Record your brain activity, yeah. Nanoradios could be integrated into smart drug delivery particles. Okay. Yeah, because I think I showed you, I'll have to do it again some other time, but I did see some kind of shite on her scan for implants talking about how they were delivering a drug to her body. I was like, wow. Through the nanotechnology that's in her body. And then it's used on lab-on-a-chip devices. Your lab-on-a-chip is heavily involved in it. You have to look up what lab-on-a-chip is, what quantum dots are. Yeah, basically, I mean, lab-on-a-chip, I mean, this is probably not a great definition, but, like, basically it's a chip that can collect all your vital signs, you know, like your blood pressure maybe, you know, like a nurse, if a nurse was checking your vital signs. That's what it is, basically. It can collect all your biomedical data in real time, you know. So I think, you know, Dr. Black is basically like a human research subject. She's like Henrietta Lacks. And then let's look up, what other place can we look up? Let's look up DARPA DARPA nanoradios, DARPA nanoradios, biomedical research. See if we could come up with anything, because I think DARPA is heavily involved in this shite. Yeah, they said Biological Technologies Office, so I need to look that up. Yeah, let's look up the Biological Technologies Office. We're going down the rabbit hole, right? Going down a very big rabbit hole again. Wow. Nanoradios can be used as neural interfaces. Neural means brain, right? Brain computer interface, like smart drug delivery. Yeah, when I looked at her scans for implants, they were delivering some kind of drug to her body. For real. So if you want, I can create a diagram showing a DARPA-style nanoradio inside the body, illustrating sensors, neural interfaces, and data transmission. Do you want me to do that? Okay. We'll tell ChatGPT to do that. Do that for me, ChatGPT. Wow, so it's creating the image. I mean, we could do this all day. I mean, it's a very interesting science, and it can be used for good and evil, Right? Like you can use nuclear technology to light an entire city with a nuclear power plant, or you could use it to, to an entire city, like Hiroshima, right? Wow. So this is what they created. Wow. That's wild. So, I mean, this stuff gets very advanced. It gets very advanced. But that's interesting to know that the nanoradio technology shite, the NanoCMOS systems, I have to look that up too. And it says it's involved with Dow and IBM. Yeah, they're involved with the technology. And it was awarded to Eastman Kodak in 2007. Wow. NanoCMOS systems, okay? NanoCMOS systems. But yeah, what is nano CMOS systems? Wow. No, I don't want a new chat. Let's see. CMOS complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Wow. That's wild. Wow, trying to figure out what this is. Nanoscale sensors. Wow. Biomedical applications, implantable or injectable sensors, and drug delivery controllers. Injectable, because a lot of target individuals, MK Ultra victims, have told me that they were given a lot of injections when they were kids, So you might not necessarily have to have surgery, They could have just injected this shite into you, If you want, I can draw a schematic of a NanoCMOS system in biomedical nanoradios showing sensors, processing, and wireless output. This would tie to what we discussed with DARPA radios. Do you want me to do that? Yeah, we'll tell ChatGPT, yes, do that for me. Hopefully they'll do it. Oh, I don't know. They're trying to stop me from talking now. Well, we could go on to another AI. Yeah, let's see. Wow, but that's wild. I could go on some other AI. Nano CMS systems. And then the technology was rewarded to Eastman Kodak in 2007. Wow. So, nano radios and Eastman Kodak. Let's look that up. We'll have to go on to another AI. Yeah, they always have to be a party pooper, right? Like, let's see, Eastman Kodak, that's the people that do pictures, right? If I'm right, you remember Kodak, the company that does pictures, Eastman Kodak, nano radios, see what we find. Wow, this stuff is wild, huh? Wow. So they didn't produce nano radios, okay. Okay, so I probably have it wrong. I'll get it right eventually. I mean, like I said, this technology is very advanced. I'm still learning this shite too. Eastman Kodak. Trying to decipher this shite, right? Eastman Kodak and Nano CMOS systems, okay? Eastman Kodak and Nano Eastman Kodak and Nano CMOS systems. Wow, look at that. Okay, so CMOS, I think that stands for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. That's what it means, okay. Wow. That's wild. That's some wild shit. Sorry, I said a bad word. No cursing. Oh my god. CMS image sensors operate at 3.1. Kodak sensor boost camera power in phones. Kodak IBM see eye to eye on new image sensors. Wow. That's wild. We'll have to look it up later, you know. But we're still learning the shite too, you know. I don't know everything. I'm still learning the shite too. Wow. We'll ask Google, what are nano radios? Nano radios. What are nano radios? Because I don't know this techie shite, right? Like I know computer science shite pretty well, but I don't know this techie shite. Wow. That's wild. Wow. That is crazy. So could this be the device that they use? Like, wow. Nano. Yeah, I remember it said the nano radios operate on radio waves. They could operate on FM, AM radios. Yeah. Shite. So that's what the device could be looking like, you know, like, wow. Wow, 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 right? ACS Publications. Nanotube radio. Nano radio. Wow. MIT technology. Yeah, MIT's heavily involved in it. Wow. Anyway, I'm still learning this stuff too, but we're getting close to the truth, you know. But that's wild that they could use nanotechnology to cause V2K, you know, like this nanotechnology shit. Like, wow. That is freaking wild, right? And then they said, what companies are involved in it? Let's see. Sorry, this is a long, boring video, probably. Wow. Stanford University. Yeah, I saw Stanford a lot. Stanford's heavily involved in it, too. When Emma Catherine interviewed MK Ultra victims, they talked about Stanford a lot. Let's see. Let's try, let's erase all this shite and start over. Stanford University and Nano Radios. Stanford University Nano Radios. Okay. Nano Radio. Okay. Wow. Wow. Holy shite. Now I understand. So it says it's involved with SLAB. Okay. Project Autonomous Nanosatellite Swarming, using radio frequency and optical navigation. SLAB. Oh, shite. Yeah, I've heard of them before. Yeah, SLAB is yeah, I've heard of that. That's wild. Yeah, we'll do Stanford University and SLAB. Stanford University and SLAB. Yeah. It's the Space Rendezvous Laboratory. Yeah, Space Rendezvous Laboratory. SLAB. Development Laboratory at the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics at Stanford University, founded and led by Professor Simone D'Amico. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's try another one. Like, I saw... Sorry, this is going to be a long video. Another one I saw a lot was Planck Society, not University. What is it called? Max Planck Institute. It's PLNCK, Max Planck. Okay, Max Planck. Remember how to spell it, Max. Yeah, it's in Germany. I saw them a lot. Max Planck. PLANCK. Max Planck Institute. Okay. Yeah, they're in Germany. And they're, let's see, Max Planck Institute, Nano Radio. Wow. Wow. I'm going to find out their involvement with it. That shite is crazy. Max Planck Institute, research in Germany. Yeah, I saw them a lot when I was doing my stuff. So I need another AI I could talk to. We could go on. We could go on Grok. Would they let me go on Grok? Let's see. Oh, they want to provide a summary of me. Okay. I don't want a summary of me. Max. Let's do what is nano radio again. Wow. I don't want a summary of my life. Let's see. Carbon nano refers to ultra tiny radio transmitter receiver built to nanoscale. Wow. Yeah, University of California, Berkeley. Wow. It's the world's smallest functional devices. And it mentions MIT. Biomedical nanomedicine. Researchers have explored nanoradios for in-body wireless communication, such as networks of nanosensors that monitor health, deliver drugs, or interface with cells. Wow. Yeah, anyway. Then it says about DARPA. Wow. Now they're trying to discredit it. You know, the powers that be, that they program AI to say what they wanted to fucking say, which pisses me off. They're trying to deny that nanoradios can cause V2K. Yeah, whatever. So, wow, that shite is crazy. Max Planck, DARPA companies. Wow. Wow. So, it has a bunch of web pages that you can look at. Wow. Introduction to nano radio. So we know nano radio exists. They won't say that that's a conspiracy theory. You know how they are. They'll be like, well, that's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, they act like, the powers that be, they act like nanotechnology is still in its infancy, when actually it's highly advanced, which really just pisses me off, because I know this technology exists, let's ask Grok again, how is nanotechnology, how is nano radio involved with FM, AM? Okay. That's all we want to know. We don't want to know all this other shit. Let's see. Grok is trying to look up something else. Okay. Nano radio. How a nano radio works with FM, AM. Wow. So it can work with FM radio. And that's wild. Wow. I'm learning this shite like you are. Let's see, this setup enables nano radio to receive both AM amplitude modulation. So AM radio means amplitude modulation, which I never knew in my entire life. FM radio means frequency modulation signals. Wow. That is wild. Oh, and then it says the nano radio in some consumer contexts refers to tiny portable FM receivers like the NXP Nano device using chips such as TEF6686 or Arduino Nano microcontroller projects for building AM/FM radios. Wow. They said NXP because we saw NXP a lot. NXP is like a semiconductor company. Wow. NXP. So it says nano radio, this technology can be involved with medical implants, like, wow. Yeah, I hate how they gotta deny it. They know this shite is for real. They act like, they've always acted like their technology is in its infancy, like they just fell off a turnip truck kind of thing, like, when the truth is their technology is very highly advanced now. It's so advanced it's ridiculous. Wow, National Institutes of Health. NASA. Let's look up NASA's involvement with nano radio. Nano radio. NASA. Because I saw NASA a lot. And nano radios. Because I know NASA is involved with nano satellites, I know this shit because sorry, I'm cursing again. I know this shite. That's a nice way, the British way of saying the word S-H-I-T. I know the shite because I've been doing it a long time. Yeah, NASA's involved with CubeSats, with nanosatellites. So NASA is developing and testing and utilizing advanced nano radio technologies to enhance communications for small satellites. There you go. Yeah, they're involved with CubeSats. That's another word you can look up, is CubeSats. Oh, and they're involved with MEMS. I've told you about MEMS before. Look up MEMS, M-E-M-E-S in capital letters. Look up, wow. Look up CubeSats. Yeah, look up that word CubeSats. That's highly involved in it. CubeSats. Wow. SWIFT. Small satellite communication. Micro Devices Laboratory. Wow. Lunar Radio Technologies. Wow. So NASA is developing, testing, utilizing nano radio technologies to enhance communication for small satellites. And I bet you they're talking about nano satellites, CubeSats, because in her report it talks about nano satellites, and I have like a little screenshot somewhere around here. You have a screenshot of what this nano satellite stuff looks like, right? Yeah, look at that. That is wild. PhoneSat series of smartphone nano satellites. That's what it said. Wow. So, I know this shite might be boring to you, but this is how I figure out what's going on, as boring as it may be. Wow. So Wow. Anyway, you guys have a good day or a good night. I'll be back later with more stuff. Yeah.